So, guys, do you notice anything different about thought bubbles now?
And if your answer is that Micah and I switched spots, you would be absolutely correct.
Yeah, we are. Bubble Season 2.
Season 2, let's go.
Roll the new intro.
I don't know, but I believe.
I'm just like getting up in the middle of the bubble.
Oh, I didn't record it.
You know what you did. You go sit in the corner.
So, guys, welcome back to what we're officially calling Season 2 of Thought Bubbles. Season 1 had 10 episodes, so from now on we might just say that 10 episodes makes a season of Bubbles. Who's to tell it's different? When you're in charge...
We get to make the rules, which is
we do.
a good spot to be in.
So, guys, there are some really exciting new things happening with Season 2 of Thought Bubbles. I mean, yeah. We're going to be including some mini stories along with each episode kind of intercut. This week, we're going to... the story of how two guys who know nothing about craftsmanship built all of this.
And only lost one finger. No, I'm just kidding. He's still here.
There was a moment with the saw where I was like, if I go down right now, I might cut off my arm. So making each episode a little bit more dynamic and engaging.
Hopefully keeping it same length, maybe a little shorter, but...
We'll see. Part of the difference is we're going to still have some questions that are completely out of left field, where Bruce is going to be stumped, and we're going to get some moments like this. I'm a bad bubbler.
I'm never doing this again.
But we're also hoping to focus on some content that is more, like we've had the chance to talk about it, a little bit more thought-provoking.
Yeah. And actually bring the thought into the thought bubbles instead of the bubble.
Yeah, they're sort of like, let's shoot from the hip on every question.
We've got our target in mind, and we're gonna go after that to the best of our ability.
Bum bum bum. We also, if you watch the bubble last week, we made a hint towards a big announcement. We're gonna have a big announcement.
Are we announcing the announcement?
No, and the studio change is not the big announcement.
Yeah, that was just a teaser.
That was, guys. We're just gonna be honest. My wife left for a week and a half.
So he's been lonely, and I've been here a lot, so it's been fine.
We've spent more time together on Memorial Day than I.
Well, I mean, we've had the past 4 days off.
It's true.
But we digress.
Okay.
So Thought Bubble Season 2
starts
Let's
now.
go.
Okay. Coming completely out of left field, Bruce. You are in the bathroom, sitting on the toilet. You have already done this public bathroom, multiple stalls. You've already done what needs to be done. When you look down and you see 2 squares of toilet paper left, what's your next course of action?
Why the heck does everything involve me in the bathroom? Like, how much time?
This is where the greatest.
Like, how much time do you think I spend there? Is the real question.
Like, we've all had the moment when you walk into the public bathroom, and like you have to go. You've committed. You're done going, and now that the cleanup process needs to begin, you're calling in sanitation, and you're short. There's no resources.
All right. How was the release? Is my first question. Like, did I eat Taco Bell the night before, or
a nice chalupa poopa? You don't know.
I don't know.
Like this is iffy. You could risk it for the biscuit, but in this case, if you risk it, you could get the biscuit.
Is there anyone in the stall next to me?
No.
Oh my gosh. Is there anyone in the bathroom with me?
Not at the moment.
Are there multiple stalls?
Yeah, multiple stalls.
Okay. I think I take the last 2 squares and do kind of like the triage clean, and then just kind of pull up just enough to cover everything that needs to be covered, and do kind of like the truffle shuffle into the adjacent stall.
The shuffle of shame.
Yeah. I mean, that's your best course of...
there have been totally been moments, if you would have walked into a public bathroom, you would have caught me with nothing but my pants on my legs, shuffling to the stall over because...
See, I would at least have the common decency to hike my stuff up.
I'm not going to risk it.
To cover my stuff. And then...
and then make the journey.
Because, like, with 2 squares, you should be able to get, you know, the low flyers and the hangers. Like...
Wow.
Right?
How many euphemisms for poop can we come up with in the first...
I mean, I'm trying to keep this PG. Like, they're you know, impressionable minds watching.
You're knocking off the dingleberries and moving on. I mean, that's fair. That's really all you can do. You risk it. I'll admit, before, there was a McDonald's bathroom once where there were 2 squares on the roll and 9 squares on the floor next to the toilet. And I just like, all right, here goes. We're like, reach down. Ooh. And like...
You're braver than I am. I think at that point, it's like a sock is coming off and being, sacrificed to the public restroom gods.
You're like, I wasn't able to pay this week's offering, so I give you a sock.
Covered in.
I mean, yeah, that.
Okay, enough about poop. Like, why are we starting off? Like, is this a metaphor for how season 2 is gonna go? Like,
I know this is like we're gonna start at the bottom, so we can only go.
Oh,
up.
so we're only going up.
Yeah,
Okay.
You won't see it on camera, but I'll know it's there. Okay.
Artistic integrity.
Yes. What's going through your head right now during this montage or this time lapse of us building?
We move really, really fast. Howard gets in the way a lot. Makes it impossible to read.
Howard at one point actually walked across wet stain panels. He was originally a white dog, and when he rolled around in it,
He's darker now.
Yeah.
This here.
Oh yeah, I got some paint from.
Paint here. There's also some paint on the dog, so clearly
It was an accident. He's really fine. This week, Bruce and I have been talking about a question that is super interesting, and we wanted to talk about with you guys and kind of share what we're thinking. Bruce, marketing is a good thing. It spreads a message to a lot of people. But in the absence of marketing, Christian music, Christian authors, Christian publicity, Christians, like let's even say church signs, every ministry-related social media thing is just gone.
Okay.
Like the only thing left of Christianity is Christians. Is that enough to still spread the gospel?
short answer, I'm gonna have to say yes. Because you look at the early church and you see Peter, like the first
Pentecost?
the first apostle, like stand up and preach, and 3,000 come to Christ on the very spot. And that was, I mean, I wasn't there, but I'm presuming like Pinterest and Instagram and Twitter.
People were like live
there.
hashtagging like Peter's on fire, man, come down.
It's awesome. Hashtag, Pentecost.
Yeah,
4280.
yeah.
But
Twitter's blowing up. This is gonna go viral.
Yeah. That's the front page of YouTube that week. And I think, short answer, yes, but I think like the bigger in the bigger scheme of things, I think you're gonna find out very quickly who those Christians are who are like legitimately on fire, living well for Jesus and his kingdom.
It's like living out what they've said they believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead of like the outward expression kind of being like the baseline almost. And without, those I guess like the media portrayals, like which aren't a bad thing, as you said, but like without those, it's kind of more like what's going on in your heart and in your life being expressed out.
Yeah. It's not you sharing this great blog post to your 500 friends on Facebook. It's you talking to your one friend saying, hey man, this is what God's doing in my life. This is what's changing me.
Yeah.
And I think, we talked earlier about this because that's how season 2 of Thought Bubbles works. Coming in a little prepared. Woo! Coming in hot. Like the early church was marketed in a time when it was not cool to be a Christian. Like you were not posting on Facebook, hey, love church this morning, because you were going to be killed. It was the gospel was spread by people exhibiting kindness, gentleness, and courage in a time when it was really hard to be that. So you had people picking rejected babies off garbage dumps. You had Christians serving in hospitals, and praying for people who were sick with incurable diseases with the risk of like it being contagious. Like like you could go in
like doing exactly what Jesus was doing just
and
a year or two before.
And there in that early time, like there couldn't be publicity because, like I said, you're gonna get killed. And that was one of the most rapid expansions of growth within Christianity.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say ever. I don't know, like the Protestant Reformation, the Great Awakenings. I should have looked that up. Sorry, guys.
I mean, either way, like,
this
it's
proves
either way,
it's
it's
still
like-
just us. It's still just us, guys.
Either way, it's exponential growth. Like whether it's
and I think that's what we have to like be passionate about today. Is like, are we exhibiting what we say we believe in more than just how we market ourselves? Like, hey, I'm a Christian. I go to church, and this is great. You should, or is like I'm a Christian, therefore I'm exhibiting kindness and gentleness and courage to others who, like, that's what makes the difference.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think the other thing too is like, in thinking about this question, it's like, am I living the way that I'm portraying myself, whether it's like talking with you on camera or in our small group with our freshman guys or in my Thursday night adult Bible study. Like, am I, like, outside of those, like, quality controlled realms, like, am I living off camera the same way that I'm living on camera?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And
that's a huge challenge, because I guess
that's a gut check.
You're like,
because you're like,
oh man.
I mean, if somebody sees this and it's like, oh, like Bruce says he's a Christian, and then he's talking like a sailor and throwing rocks at squirrels and stuff, like, that doesn't exactly exhibit.
I'm pretty sure you could throw rocks at squirrels and still be a Christian.
You know what I mean? Like, I was gonna say,
I took
like,
off after a rabbit the other day trying to catch it.
I mean, I was gonna say lighting orphanages on fire, but that just seemed a little extreme. So I toned it back to throwing rocks at squirrels.
Okay, if that's where you need, like, if that's your line that you don't want to cross, save all the squirrels. I'm gonna get you a big T-shirt with, like, I love squirrels on it.
I mean, I don't like squirrels, but you know what I mean.
No,
like,
for sure. You can't. Yeah, and like, I don't really know where you go from that. Other than, like, the challenge for us evangelistically isn't necessarily what we say to hundreds of people. It's what we say to the people immediately around us.
Yeah.
And if what we say immediately around us matches up to what we're saying to hundreds of people, awesome. But we can't let the, like, I'm gonna go up and speak to 100 people and say this stuff, but then not live it out and not model it on a one-on-one basis. That's just inaccurate, and I mean, dare I say, pharisaical.
Well, and like, the other thing too is, like, ultimately, like, the stuff that you're going out and saying and doing, like, needs to be an expression of what's going on in here, like what the Holy Spirit's doing, like what God's teaching you, how Jesus is shaping you to make you more like Him. And I think without that, it's just kind of like we have our own agenda, and that's what we're going after at that point. And so, like, I don't know, trying to tie this back into the idea of, Christian marketing, I don't think it's bad, but I think sometimes there's that hidden agenda behind it, that it's like almost that we're ultimately putting, like, our name or face to something, and it's more about, like, us or a band or a blogger
individual,
or a person. Like, it's making much of a person instead of making it much about Jesus, who, like, it ultimately has to be about.
Yeah. And a great way to check that is, if you were to, would you still be doing this if no one listened? Yeah. And would you still be doing this if it cost you, so much more than it does? Like, going back to, if you have to share your faith at the risk of
being killed,
imprisoned, or being killed, that's a pretty good.
That's a gut
test.
Yeah.
So,
ooh, litmus test. I like that.
Litmus, bring out the science just for you.
I'm
all right.
impressed.
So, guys, we still haven't figured out how we're gonna end thought bubbles, and this is like the second time we filmed this one. Just being honest.
How about a freeze frame high five?
Yeah. Wow, that was
special.
That right there is like the forecast for how the rest of season 2 is gonna go.